Hello everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Ohio. I'm just going to come tonight and show you a little fun thing to make with these large Hershey bars. It's candy wrappers that I've done several times. I do them in my classes and people seem to like them, so I thought I would just do a video with you guys. But first of all, I just want to tell you that I've been doing videos since April with the quarantine and all that, so I have a lot of technique videos on here on my channel, which is Stamp Crazy by Rita Holmes. I have a Facebook group called Stamp Crazy VIP where I do live videos on Tuesday mornings at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you don't belong to that and would like to see that, that would be great. I also turn them into YouTube videos, but not exactly at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. I have a Stampin' Up website. If you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with and you would like one, I would love to be able to help you. So all my information is right here on this little card. If you can screenshot that, that would be great, and then you'll have it. But right now, I'm going to show you some samples with the Hershey bar and different things that I've done with that. I'm going to sit down here to get ready for that. So anyway, I use the Hershey bar, which is a 4.4 ounce Hershey bar. It's an XL. They have Hershey with almonds. I think they have Kit Kats. A couple other candy bars that you can use to make things with. I usually use the Hershey milk chocolate. And then this sample right here has the Hershey with almonds. It has the gold on the ends of it. So let me show you a couple samples. And all my stuff was done using Stampin' Up products, either out of our new annual catalog or our mini catalog, which is going to start August the 4th. So this one is my chocolate bar, which everybody likes. It says, today's plan, consume chocolate and be awesome. I used the Nothing Better Than stamp set with the Love You More dies on this one. This paper actually is going to be in our new mini catalog. It's a Christmas paper. And I don't know if it's Heartwarming Hugs is the name of that Christmas paper right here that I used. So anyway, these are the sleeves that you make for your candy bars. You can just slip your candy out so that whoever you give this to, they can actually pay this forward if they would like, the candy bar wrapper or whatever. But you, let me stick it back in here now that I got it out. But anyway, I make them all that so that they slip on and off. So this is my chocolate one that I made. Let me set that to the side. This one I made, and I used the Zany Zebra set. And I also used a little embossing folder, and I don't know if you can see that right here. It's got a little bit of greenery. And let me see my little cheat sheet here. And I think that's just called greenery, the embossing folder. And I used the Tasteful Labels dies for this right here. And it's just a real simple one. And I actually tucked the edges in right here and glued them back so that they don't show on the sides. You have a nice clean look that way. So that's a different way that you can package it, more or less. Then I made one, and all I did is I used the Ornate Garden DSP, and I used the Stitch So Sweetly dies and the So Sentimental stamp set for my Can't Thank You Enough. Left a little opening here to where I can slip a gift card in and out to give a gift card just to say thank you or happy birthday or whatever you would want. And I took my DSP all the way around to the back of this one. And there again, it will slip out. You just take a hold, slip it out. And so we've got that one, which would make a good thank you, birthday, or whatever. And then we have, this is a birthday one I made. Again, I've tucked the ends in to where you don't see them. And I use the, let me see here, the Small Bloom Punch one here. and the Basket of Blooms stamp set for the pot, and the By the Dock is my little birthday saying here. And then up here came from the Heartfelt stamp set that says, being friends is better than eating candy, but let's do that too. And so I used dimensionals, some jewels and stuff, and just to decorate this. And there again, we can slip it out. Have two more samples to show you. Let me move these out of my way. Here I have Halloween, and this is all coming out in our new catalog on August 4th. This is some new metallic ribbon that they have. It's like a mesh metallic. This is the stamp set. I use Ghoulish Goodies on here, and I use the Smoky Slate ink and the black ink. And this is some of the Halloween paper. It's called Magic in This Night, DSP. And some new iridescent black pearls that will be in that catalog. And I don't know if you can see those, but I'll raise this up to where you can see that and see this bow. And that's really cool. So that's my Halloween one that I made. And then I also made a Christmas one. And I used the Gnome for the Holiday stamp set. Isn't he the cutest little guy? Just love, love, love that. And I used the stitched nested label dies for my die. And then this is the Heartwarming Hugs DSP that I used just to show a little bit of paper there. And this is the Real Red sheer ribbon. And all of that's going to be in the new catalog coming out August the 4th. So if you would like one and you don't have a demonstrator to get that catalog to you, just shoot me a message on here, or go to my Facebook page, Stamp Crazy VIP, or email me at ritaholmes0611@gmail.com. And again, all that information is here that you can screenshot. And so anyway, this is my Christmas one. And again, with it being a Christmas nut, I kind of used the almond one so I could have the gold up here. So anyway, that is my samples. Now I'm going to show you how to make one. And for my base, for all of the bases on those, that was the cardstock, it's cut 6 7/8 by 8 inches. And you're going to lay it with your 6 7/8 inches across here. Will be the horizontal layer, so that you can take your candy bar and you can just lay it towards the center of that. If it's off center, that's okay too. You mainly want it straight more than anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my paper up, and I'm just going to, I don't use a bone folder or score to make any lines in it. I want it all natural. So I just make sure those come up and kind of are going to meet on the sides here, so it doesn't look real sloppy. I take my, this is my Stampin' Seal, and I don't have the Stampin' Seal Plus, which is really like the Fast Fuse. I don't have that one, but this one seems to hold it really, really well. It's really sticky. So I put that on my edge that's on top, laying on top of my candy bar. Then I put it on the flat edge down here that's sticking straight up. Bring that over, match my sides, and lay that down and just rub, okay? I think I got a little bit of glue right here on my paper, so now I'm going to stick to it. Okay, so anyway, that is how I put my base cover. That's the main measurement you would need to know for this, because otherwise, and you saw in all my samples, everything's cut differently, so you can you will be able to adjust that accordingly to what you want. And what I'm using here is our new in colors. This is the Magenta Madness, and it's a 6x6 piece. Again, I'm going to lay that down, and this will not cover the whole paper, and that's okay. It's just going to be like a different design. but I'm going to make sure that I have that kind of even on both sides here, from here to here on my candy bar, because I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to put that on the edge on both sides. And I'm just going to try to center that to make sure I have this about the same amount of paper on each side to come up. And there we go. And so there's my covering for that. Now what I'm going to do, I don't have a sample of this one that I'm making today. I did make one just like it the other day on my Facebook Live, but I've already given that away. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. We're going to use the Celebrate Sunflower set, which is right here. And I'm going to be using the big sunflower and the leaf out of here. And on the Ghoulish Goodies, I'm going to use Good to the Last Bite. I know this is a Halloween set that's coming out, but Good to the Last Bite is a great thing to put on a candy bar, because I think everybody will agree candy bars are good to the last bite. So that's going to be the 2 stamp sets I use. And I'm going to I lost my die set. Anyway, I use the dies also that goes with it. It's the sunflower dies, because I'm going to cut the sunflower out and the leaves out with that. And so we'll be good to go, okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stamp my sunflower on a piece of cardstock. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus because I want that to be really, really dark. So I have me a piece of scrap paper here. I'm just going to have this hold it down. I'm going to make sure I got my stamp in the right place. That looks good, so that's what we're going to use. When you're using your Stamparatus, if you'll stick your stamp set right here underneath your door right here, it will hold it flat, so when you're inking it up. So now I'm going to ink my sunflower. I'm going to take and I'm going to press that down. And I want a really, really dark, rich image. So I want that a little bit darker. I'm going to take my stamp pad again, and I'm using the Memento Tuxedo Black. I'm going to lay that down. See how much darker it got? I'm going to do it one more time. One more time. I want it really, really dark. So I'm just rubbing to get a nice, good image. That's what the Stamparatus is great for. You can just keep stamping over and over and over. And so therefore now I have a really dark black image that I can use to do my coloring on. So let me just take and I always put a paper towel back here, and I'll clean my stamp after we're done. I won't waste your time to clean my stamps. No need for that. So let's get this out of the way. And while we're stamping, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the leaf stamp, and I'm going to stamp 3 leaves, because that's what I used. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Good to the Last Bite, and I'm going to stamp it right here. And let me just tell you, what I used was this, oh, let me see what it's called. I even forget. the Label Me Fancy punch. This punch right here, which looks like a ticket punch, and then it has a little oblong opening, and it has a dot opening. And I'll show you what I did with that. I'm going to put this in here the right way, and I'm just going to line it up where I want it. And what I'm going to do with that now, because I want a hole in there, I'm just going to take and line this up with this hole on this side and punch me a little hole. So therefore that puts a little hole in my tag, ready to use. So that's how we're going to use the tag. Now I colored with our Stampin' Blends, and hopefully some of you or a lot of you have used those, but I'm just going to color real quick and show how I colored my things. What I did is I used the Granny Apple Green, the dark and the light. So I'm going to take the dark in my leaf, and where all these little lines are, I'm just going to kind of darken that, not having to go over every one of them. Then I will bring my light in, and I always use the brush tip, I think it is, the wider tip, and I color in a circular motion, because what that does is that blends that darker ink in. I turn my paper around, it's easy for me to color that way, and therefore I just, and then what I do is I take my light So Saffron and I add a little bit of yellow in here, and what that does is just kind of brightens it up a little bit in some areas, so when it dries, it's hard to see until it dries, and I will show you what that looks like, because I have one here. I don't know if you can tell in here the yellow and that after it's all dried what it looks like, but you'll get a little light hues that just kind of blend with the greens. But to save time, I already have 3 leaves done and 3 leaves cut out with my that I already did all that. So that's going to be our leaves for our card. I also cut out of the Mango Melody and the Granny Apple Green cardstocks some different leaves that's going to go on our card too. And I'm going to show you the sunflower, how I colored my sunflower. Here's one that's cut out that we're going to be using just to save time from cutting out. But when I did this card, I thought I'd use the So Saffron. So what I did was I took, wrong tip. I took and I kind of inked up where this dark is, right around through here. Just wherever I saw dark, I just kind of added some color in there. And I don't try to be exact. Flowers aren't exact. I mean, no two flowers are going to have the colors in the same place. And so I'm just hitting it with some dark colors. And in stamping, you want your darker colors where all of your black is. So anyway, I got my yellow one there. And I went over it with my So Saffron, and I just colored in my petals. And the reason why I'm showing you this is how, if you start off with colors, especially light colors, and you really don't care for it as much, it's not ruined. You can you can fix it. That's what I want to say. I get coloring and then I get like a brain fog. I'm stuck in coloring and doing nothing else. Does everybody like to color? I love to color. I loved to color when I was a kid. I loved to color when I was a teenager. I loved to color when I had kids. I love to color with my grandkids. So anyway, I got this colored and I didn't see a lot of light and dark in it, and that was a really light color and I didn't want my sunflower that light. So then what I did is I took the Mango Melody and I took the dark first. Make sure I got the dark. So then I went and hit all of these spots where the yellow was, where I did the dark yellow first. So I'm going back over that, making dark. And if you can see, that's bringing out some more color. Trying to make sure I got it on all of them. Okay, so I did my dark. So then I brought in my light and then just kind of, now I didn't actually have to hit all of these sunflowers. I already had some of the So Saffron that made some really light petals. So I left it like that and then just hit this here and there to give it a lot more dimension. So there's my sunflower. Now I got to do my center. One of the first things I did is I took the Cajun Craze dark and I went around the outside of it, because that gave it a little bit of an orangey look right there. Then I took the light soft suede, or the dark soft suede, I'm sorry, and kind of went around this edge. And then I took the light and just colored that in a circular motion, blending those two colors together. And I took that out and kind of went around my Cajun Craze. And then I brought in my dark Mango Medley and kind of swirled that around. And it kind of blended that Cajun Craze and made that dark around my sunflower. So there's my sunflower, and again I already cut one out, so we don't have to do that. We're just going to now assemble my candy bar wrapper. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I'll use that for another something. So here I have my candy bar wrapper. So I want to decide how I want my flower on here and my 3 leaves. Decide where I'm going to tuck everything, and this for when I get it. I think I'm going to I think I'm going to put my leaves like that and this leaf up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my leaves and I'm going to just put a little dot of glue on each leaf. I'm going to bring my sunflower back in and I'm just going to set it down on my leaves. So that way that glues them. I'm going to move it for a minute. Now what I'm going to do is decide how I want my these little leaves. I want my leaves to be think I'm going to put those right there. And I think I'll put these maybe right like this. Now, let me see if that's going to show with my tag. No. I think I might move these up here. I think I might do that. I'm going to put my tag down here. Yeah, that's what I want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cheat right here. I'm going to take some Scotch tape and tape these leaves down, because nobody's going to see them. And I don't want to glue up here because I want those to look kind of wispy looking, okay? So I've got that glued down, just the way it needs to be. I'm going to take my flower, turn it upside down, and I'm going to make sure I have all of my leaves popped up. And I'm going to be kind of generous with my dimensionals here, because I want this flower to really stand. So I think that's good. Let's take all of these off. I love to use dimensionals. You know, some people say, well, you know, it's an added expense or whatever. Well, it's actually pennies per dimensional if you add it up. They're like $4 for, I think you get 300 of them. So it doesn't cost very much money for them. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my flower down. And there it is popped up. Now I'm going to put my, I've already made a bow, and I used my linen thread. Let me go ahead, and what I'm going to do, I want to tie that bow on here. I'm just going to stick a piece of linen thread through there. I'm going to cut it off of there. Then I'm going to lay this down. I didn't do it this way in the last video, but I'm going to lay that there and this. So it looks like it's been made right there on that hole, but actually it's not. And I'll just tie it in a double knot, just for security purposes, I guess. Trim my little edges here. Don't need those. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that right like that and glue that on. Okay, so I'll take a little bit of glue. And I used my Tombow multi-purpose glue. He kind of lost his label somewhere along the line. So I'm going to use that. It's got the bow on it. And then there is my finished candy wrapper. Good to the last bite. It says you could give this for anything. You could still do a birthday or whatever. If you wanted to do a gift card with it, you could bring your candy bar out and maybe tape your gift card to your Hershey bar. Put my Hershey bar in upside down. I know they don't see it like that, but it drives me crazy. So let me get it in there right way. Okay, but you could tape a gift card to the Hershey bar if you wanted to. You know, put these in with like a birthday gift or whatever you're given. If you want to say thank you to somebody, you just want to be nice to somebody, drop one off on their front porch. Not if it's 90 degrees like it is at my house right now, but Great teachers gifts, co-workers gifts, just a lot of different things you can do with these. The candy bars, I shop at Kroger. We have Krogers in our area, and they are 2 for $3 a lot of times, or $1.59 a piece. So they're inexpensive. You can make this for just a little over $2 actually would be your cost on it to make this for a little gift. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So your main thing, what you need to know, is this piece of paper, the solid cardstock on all the ones I used, is 6 7/8 by 8 inches. And that is your wrapper. Just don't wrap it so tight that you cannot get this candy bar to slide. Make sure that it's going to slide, unless you want somebody just to tear this off, you know. But I think it's nice that you can re-gift that. So anyway, that's what I have to show you tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you would, give my video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you didn't, you can give me a thumbs down. But if you do that, would you please tell me in the comments what I did that you didn't like, just so I can maybe perfect that. I'd also like for you to hit the subscribe button and share my video, just because I'd like to get my videos out. I think these candy bars are a nice little gift to do, and I think a lot of people would like to see them. So if you don't mind sharing that, I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope you all like my video and that you'll be coming back the next time I have one. Thank you.